Okay, so today we're going to take a look at how to live outside of the system that we have in place. Now, this probably applies mostly to America. It might apply to like other countries. I guess we'll see. But the premise of this reading is how to live outside of the system while still having to live inside of the system, because depending on, which aspect of the system that you're looking at, almost all the aspects are fucked, right? So, and there's so many people that are trying to break away from the American system in various aspects. So let's take a peek at how to live outside of it while having to live inside of it. And this should be interesting. Let's see what we get. All right. Basketball 23. That's our random word and number combo. The root card is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about memory. So, right away, this says that it probably is talking about a way things were done in the past. Now, here specifically in this card, they're reliving something that happened in the past, and they're doing it through this simplistic puppet show, this good versus evil thing, and nothing was ever that simple. So maybe as we try to create structures that are outside of the system, we might have like these romantic ideas of how things were done in the past, but our romantic ideas are probably bullshit. That's usually how it works. So, all right. The main card we get is the Nine of Wands. I'm going to put the root card down here. The Nine of Wands, and this is going to be important. The Nine of Wands is about not giving up. So here this person is trapped in this maze, right? And they see these stairs. And the stairs may or may not lead out. And they're like, oh my God, I've already been up 1,000 fucking flights of steps and I'm still trapped here. Like, am I really gonna try this shit again? And the flame here represents their hope. This is all about having hope that the future can be different than the past. So the core of the first card is just saying don't give up. And in the card, you can see the night sky up here because it actually is the way out. But right away, this is saying don't give up. Eventually, you can find your way out of the maze. Now, I guess a past card doesn't make as much sense here. But what I'm going to do, let's say that this is the destination. So this is kind of a future card or a guide card. And we'll just look over here to see its counterbalance. So there's the guide card. And here is the counterbalance. So the way that this is working in my head, this would basically be something that would hold us back to some degree, and this would be something that would help lead us forward, which is interesting because if these two were the other way, it would make a lot more sense to me because we get the Two of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So here, it shows the thing that is kind of weighting us down is the Two of Cups, which is romance and harmony and being completely in a moment. Now, the only way that this makes sense to me is the Two of Cups would be about not thinking about the future or the past, right? Just being completely in the current moment. And it looks like that might actually hold us back from being able to live outside of the system and to like build these structures that would help us to live outside of the system. So it looks like just sort of carefree living in the moment is not a terribly good thing. Now, here, the thing that would be helpful is showing as the Six of Pentacles. Here, this person, they are fueled by kindness and generosity, right? And this person has all of these pentacles. And here's a ghost, and the ghost is like, hey man, can I have one of those? And they're like, oh sure, I got a bunch, why not? So they give the ghost this pentacle, hoping to change something about the ghost, but nothing ever changes because it can't. So this is giving of ourselves to change something that we can never change. The way that I would interpret this is about how we spend our money. And I mean, it would make sense if this is just saying, don't give money to the ghost. Don't throw your money into that system. Try to hold on to it. Now, I'm just going to show you something about the Six of Pentacles, because in the progression, a good way to understand it is by looking at the Seven of Pentacles. So in the Six, the person is essentially throwing their time and energy away, right? Now in the Seven, this is the witch practicing witchcraft, but here all of the energy is kept. So they're putting all of their time and energy into developing their own skills instead of giving the time and energy away to this fucking ghost that is never going to change. So if we keep the resources ourselves and try not to give them to these broken things, um, that would probably be really helpful. And it's just literally about where you would spend your money and what you put your time and energy into. Investing it in yourself rather than giving it away would probably be a good thing. And one of the other things that I would say about this is we basically can't change the system. The system would be the ghost, and we can try to change it. We can try to give our energy to it, but it will never change. Um, we could starve it, I believe, by not giving it our time and energy, not giving it our money. So let's just see what we get coming out the top of this. And because right now it's saying that planning is a good thing and living in the moment is maybe not a good thing, but it's saying don't give up. So the card that just falls into my lap here is the Empress. So we'll put this up here. Now, this would be sort of a beacon card, and it's like, when in doubt, remember this. So the Empress is the fertile womb. The Empress doesn't need anything that she doesn't have around her. The Empress can just be open and everything sort of comes to her. So there's a bunch in here, but the first thing that's coming to my mind is basically fertile land, you know, and it would be like growing as much of your food as you possibly could, but really trying to be open to the resources that you have around you. And it's so the Emperor is about very controlling energy and like projecting, right? And the Empress isn't about that. The Empress is about receiving what happens to be around you. But I really think this is about growth and fertility wherever you happen to be. And it makes a lot of sense if it's like try to use as many resources as you have locally, and also probably grow as much of your own food as you can. But here, I would also say that the guide is the Great Mother, you know, and it could be that the feminine divine um, could be like our greatest guide as we try to live outside of the current system, because the current system is definitely not a creation of the Divine Mother, right? So that is what we get here. And also, with the root card of the Six of Cups, this is just saying that if you have an idea of like in the past things being like simpler or things being better, it's probably not true. Things were probably fucked in the past too. So don't give up. Try not to throw your energy away to the broken system and that fucking ghost. And just sort of being in the day, it also looks like that's not too helpful. Um, and try to get as much guidance from the divine feminine as you can. But I really think the Empress is about growing your food and just taking advantage of what you have locally, your resources that you have, and growing um, with what you have around you. So that's what we get, and hopefully we can make these things happen, because I really think that this has to happen. But it just happens within each individual person. There's we can't really fucking do anything to this system this way. So it just has to be changes that are made internally, and we can only control what we ourselves do. So trying to implement as much of this stuff within yourself as you can, that seems to be the key. Peace.